Majid will present something about the theme.
بداية يعني من شرف عظيم أن تستطيع اليوم الذي تستطيع فيه أن تقدم السابق للجمهور. It is such a great honor and privilege to introduce Mr. ضياء. Although I'm not intending to say that he is old, indeed he is younger than me, so just to let you know. Mr. ضياء has obtained his BA and Master's degree from the College of Education at Baghdad University. Starting his career in 1998, he had delivered lectures at the College of Education at Baghdad University. In 2002, he moved to Libya, where he had worked for about 8 years teaching English in several universities, before he had moved back to Iraq in 2010. Since 2012, Mr. ضياء has been working as assistant instructor in the English department at the University of Karbala. He has participated in several workshops in Karbala, Libya, and subsequently, Mr. ضياء has gained years experience of coordinator of BA studies as well as head of the English department for 3 years at College of Arts, Libya. This is all yours, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Ram. Thank you, Dr. Majid, for the invitation. Our topic today, or my topic today, is literature crossing the great divide. The first point I'd like to mention is about the definition, of course. Echo, sometimes they refer to it echo as home, or as a home refers to the environment. Eco literature might cover so many things, places, animals, birds, and sometimes even natural disasters can be included within the eco literature. And sometimes we find it hard really to give a definition concerning eco literature. We have so many works dealing with the environment, and those works can generally fall under the scope of environmental literature, eco literature, or green studies. Sometimes they call it green studies in the UK, and sometimes they call it eco literature in the USA. So it depends on the writers, it depends on the scholars, the critics. I mean, they have some differences in the UK or in the USA. We have some terms and concepts I'd like to highlight concerning the eco literature. The first one is anthropocentrism, and this means that man is able to use nature for his own. So the first point is anthropocentrism. We have some terms, some concepts we have in this field. Anthropocentrism means that man is on the natural contract and the social contract. Another point, or another term, is borocentrism, which means the interconnection between human and non-human. This is the main field. I mean, this is the main target in eco literature, is how to find a link, a relation between the human and the non-human. This kind of literature deals with the environment, deals with so many points. One of them is the weather, or let me say the climate change. So we have a new term to see, climate fiction. It is a combination of climate and fiction. It deals with the relation between man and nature, or how human activities actually destroy or kill nature. Another point, concerning climate fiction, we can also mention some ideas which are quite apparent even nowadays. Problem, for example, of deforestation. Then we have eco-fiction, deals either with nature, and since we deal with nature, so we deal with nature alone, means the human is not there, or we deal with the environment, and in this case we have the human influences nature. Then another term we can find is biosymbiotic, which means the relation between human and the environment. Eco-literature might also indicate the advent of global warming criticism and the, let's say, the disappearance of Cold War criticism. Another term which is also available in this literature is transspecies justice. Sometimes we have literary works in which we have the human and the non-human are working together. For example, a short story written by Jack London, To Build a Fire, we notice that pain, again, can transcend what can transcend species, means the human and the non-human, both of them are available. Another point we have is the rules of fiction. We have science fiction, we have magical realism, we have historical writing, we have mythology, animal, cave drawings, and even sometimes non-fictional works. You know, this type of literature, just like any other, for example, even like literary movements, sometimes we have something to prepare the people, to warm them up for what comes for this kind of literature. So science fiction and these things. And in non-fictional works, we have in another side, works like Sandy County, works like Silence Brain. Such works deal with natural history, deal with places, and of course they are taken as the important works when we want to talk about the eco-literature. In the past, don't we have eco-literature in the past? Yes, we have, definitely, because it depends on how we look at the text. So we have writers from different literary writers from different literary periods used to use nature or used to use the environment in their works. Chaucer, T.S. Eliot, Shakespeare, Thomas Hardy, and William Wordsworth. We have Race and Nature by Race and Nature by Donald Asmore, explored issues of environmental racism. They are both considered, I guess, the fathers of eco-literature. He wrote an article, Living with the Weather, in which he argued that we live in a period of a new geographism. I mean, this is very important because now we are interpreting the very text in terms of geography, in terms of weather, in terms of environment, and not in terms of historicism. The main issues tackled in by eco-literature. The environment. The environment is the cornerstone. And you know, the main concern is the environment. Even in science fiction, we have the relation between man and nature. In literary text, you know, let me say in literature, in the traditional sense, we have the human. The human being is the cornerstone. The human being is the main point. Now, the writers are trying to bridge the gap, let me say, between the human and the non-human, and to introduce the two at the same time. For example, we have the hydrofracking, in which literature actually teaches us something, teaches us how to, for example, how to extract gas in a safe way. So, literature, in this way, it improves the relation between man and his environment. One of the points we have to mention is sometimes eco-literature, they say eco-literature is very propaganda, and no need to read it, no need to read such text, because it is a propaganda. You know, you are talking about the environment, you're talking about birds, you're talking about animals, certain species, you're talking about extinction, for example, extinction of certain animals. So this is a propaganda, but writers actually, yes, sometimes we have this. I mean, some writers, this is propaganda, but it is the task of the writer It is the task of the writers to provide readers with artistic values, to make the work full of literary and artistic values. In this case, it will be readable, let me say. I mean, a writer should use or can use environmental themes, but such environmental themes should not be presented merely for the sake of the environment, but there should be human values along with these environmental themes. And fiction, what is the function of fiction? Why do we have fiction, and why writers write fiction? In fact, fiction humanizes our life. Fiction makes us aware of what we have and what we have around us. This is a work of art, not propaganda. I mean, if the writer is able to convince the reader that his work is a work of art, I mean, in terms of its characters, in the way of delineating the characters, in terms of the moral lesson, so it will be easy for the reader to accept the reference to the environment without being afraid from the idea of propaganda. So this is how to answer the point of propaganda. Environmental problems and human awareness. You see, the appearance to have environmental movement, I mean the appearance of the environmental movement in the state, of course, and the aim of this movement was to protect the environment. And we have two names or two figures here as you see. The problems we have, even in our country, in the area, at least where I live, problem of deforestation is quite apparent, very clear, because it is one of the problems this time the human tone, as people sometimes are forced to leave their land after such a process. Another problem is endangered species. It's about the effect man has on animals. We have the work I have just mentioned, to build a fire by the which shows what happens if we don't respect nature. I know that's a literature, maybe it's new. It appears in the 80s and the 90s. So it takes time to accept literature, as a literary genre. Then science and technology are important, especially when we talk about environmental awareness, environmental problems. We see that science and technology are equally important, but they should be, the presentation of the two should be well proportioned, and they should be presented in a convincing way. They should go together. They should work together. While environmental writers are sometimes not included in the literary canon, they have certain rules. They are not included in for example, in the literary canon. They are not, let's say, included in the literary intelligence, and because they have certain criteria, certain rules for such things. And since those environmental writers are not included in the literary canon, so of course it will be not easy for them to be recognized or appreciated. With environmental awareness, we have for example, some industrial projects. Industrial projects in rural areas influence the environment and other human activities which are done by man without paying attention to other living creatures. Another one, the Monkey Ranch Gang by Edward Levy. Some of the characters try to have a group of their own in order to stop their destruction. So it's about the meeting between man and how man can protect how man can protect nature. A very nice quotation actually by Dalai Lama about protecting the environment. It is our collective and individual responsibility to preserve and tend to the world in which we all live. And the point, I don't know, so natural contract and social contract. In the past, we have the social contract. We're talking about people, we're talking about the human being, talking about human relation, talking about human psychology. Everything is contained with the what? With the social contract, and the social contract, as you know, was brought by John Jefferson. Now, we are not talking about, or we don't need the social contract in terms of this kind of literature. Actually, we need natural contract. The natural contract in which both the human and the non-human are what are to be taken into consideration. Actually, Jonathan Bates, a writer in the romantic ecology, highlighted the importance of having natural contract. We have nature in literary works. Jonathan Bates argued that a poem written by Lord Byron in 1816, which is called Darkness. Actually, he read or he interpreted this poem in what? In a different way, by using the weather, by using the geographical context. Okay. Why eco-literature in the past? We have works dealing with nature, we have works dealing with the environment, but these works were no one was able to read it in terms of eco-literature, or to say that these works actually contain elements of eco-literature, simply because eco-literature was not the fashion at that time. Okay, let me jump to the conclusion. Okay, some points concerning the conclusion. Number one, eco-literature covers a very large area in which the human and the non-human are equally important. Terms like the new poiocentrism should replace the old anthropocentrism. A new geographism should replace historicism. Eco-literature works can open our eyes and hearts to areas we were not able to look at in the past. The idea that eco works are merely propaganda is not strongly grounded, and if the writer is a skillful writer, he can enrich his work in terms of moral lessons, in terms of characterization, and so on. Literature, in its traditional aspect, is no longer acceptable, and we can see that the borders are broken, let's say broken now, and it's time to look for a new definition for literature. The last point is the natural contract is more important than the social contract. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mr. ضياء, for this nice topic and interesting presentation, actually. And as Mr. ضياء has just mentioned, literature features many things, and this is one of them. He deals with the environmental issues, and he talks about mainly about nature-oriented fiction, environmental fiction, or what is called green fiction. Now, if you have any question or any comment, please feel free. Yeah, please, Mrs. Hind.
Thank you very much. Well, I think this is not fair. You have not given enough time for literature.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.